Why do good people become bad leaders? Now, of course, I've been grappling with this question my entire leadership career, but even more so over the last few months. Why does a good person become a bad leader? Now, every leader that we grapple with on any level is someone's favorite uncle, someone's adored mother or father, somebody's best friend. You know, in some circles and circuits, they're the person that people can look up to as a beacon of light in their lives. But for some reason, in their office of power, in their office of authority, in their seat of leadership, they become a monster. Someone we have to grapple with on a day-to-day basis to figure out how is it that you fix and solve this problem of this leader's behaviors and mindsets. And really, I blame our education system. There's something quite profoundly sad about an education system that teaches young children all the complexities of life in various ways, in shapes, in forms, in words. You know, we're taught history and geography and physics and biology and chemistry and accounting, and yet we are not taught how to harness our minds. We are not taught how to understand how every single experience we are having and the interpretation we have of it is developing a mindset of beliefs and assumptions and values and priorities. We are not taught that we are cultivating our own emotions and that those emotions will ultimately drive our actions in the world. We are not taught how to manage stress. We're not taught how to grapple with conflict, how to have courageous conversations. We're not taught to understand what it is to have a shadow, a dark side of us that if we don't grapple with becomes a large part of the way in which we show up as a leader. And so because of that, we have leaders who have no self-awareness. Tasha Ulrich, who's an organizational psychologist, did research that showed that only between 10 to 15% of leaders in the world actually have self-awareness. And so this is problematic. If you don't know and understand the deepest parts of yourself, your personality, your unconscious values, the things that trigger you, your ultimate fears, the things that lead you to paranoia, the things that lead you to see the other as so different to you that they're worthy of unheard of punishment, of unheard of ridicule, of unheard of shaming and humiliation and a lack of dignity. If you don't know yourself enough to understand how that impacts another human being, then of course you become a problematic leader. And so it seems to me that the work that is deeply missing in our educational systems, in our training of leaders, is that deepened self-awareness. Because when leaders don't do their work, people suffer. And I've said this again and again. And I don't say this because I'm a leadership practitioner. I say this because I understand my own messiness. And I understand the messiness of others as I experience it in my work. And I've never been one to want to rush to judgments about the complexity of how people are being, because I understand the complexity of the mind. But just because we understand something and can explain it doesn't make it right. And so the invitation is that leaders who hold positions of power understand how to do their deepest work. So this has been my reflection, and I'm intrigued as well that, you know, in the domains, in many domains of understanding, you know, even on our traditions of understanding spirituality, I'm fascinated, for example, by the work of Richard Rohr, who talks at some point that when Jesus was casting out spirits, he was actually casting out addictions, afflictions, personal ways of being that so get in the way of our highest manifestation of self, that can even start to afflict others and get in the way of other people's ability to reach their highest manifestation of self. That it is those silent things in our mind, those things in the deepest parts of ourselves that get in the way of a better world, of an equal world, of a just world. And so my invitation, leader, is that before you take that seat, do your deepest work. Before you take that position in which you have ultimate power, grapple with the self. Raya Mountain Dreamer says, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care who you've worked at and what tables you sit at. I want to know, can you sit with yourself? And I'm paraphrasing, when you sit with yourself, do you like what you see? Why do good people become bad leaders? Because we don't do that great work of deepened self-awareness.